Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artists Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly, I am your host for the show, the host with the most. Yeah, I am your host, your guide, if you will, into the wonderful talent pool of creatives that we have in Northland, New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere Earth, Milky Way. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you are a long-time listener or viewer, thank you so much for checking us out again. We love to see everyone come back. Please make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you are subscribed. And also if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, just save us. Put us in your liked section. So that way, when our podcasts come out, you never miss them. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. Make sure you add us there and keep up to date with everything that's cool and coming out. Yeah, man, we are rolling into summer now. We've officially got the fan on in the studio because it is starting to get a wee bit hot. It's been crazy though. I think the last couple of days it's been weird. Like we've had a 10. I think I read a 10-degree drop in temperature. Just with this wintry blast that sort of came through right at the end. Weird, bonkers. But it is. I tell you what, it is really nice to see the sun out and have so much. But I'm going to flick to my camera now. Today's guest, Lee J. Lovely lady. One of those up-and-coming artists that it was very, very cool to be able to sit down and talk with in the early stages of her career. She's got a lot going on, man. She is full of these massive creative ideas, and I really hope she goes places. It's so amazing. She was a listener and a viewer. And she just sort of reached out saying, hey, I love what you guys do. I'd love to be on. And we just kind of jumped on it. And it was like, yeah, definitely, man. We'd love to have you on board. So, we sent her paperwork, or scheduled a day. Everything was all good. She came and sat down and just absolutely killed it. She was so good, man. For someone that hadn't really done media training or anything like that, just awesome. Such a lovely person as well. Super cool. If you haven't had a look at it, I highly recommend checking out the Rapid Fire, which is Facebook and Instagram exclusives. She just killed it. Rocky, Editor Rocky, I think that's the quickest Rapid Fire we've ever had.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just blasted through. It's also the most amount of finger clicks we've had in a podcast in total as well.
Yeah.
I love it. Rocky, your words are so profound.
Yeah, I don't talk on the mic, no.
Don't talk on the mic. But that's okay. We'll get you there. So tell you what, I'm going to stop talking to Rocky. I'm going to talk with you guys. Let's sit down and have an amazing conversation with Lee J. I know, well, we just talk shit.
Yeah, right. Why not? Why not?
That's how it can start and go from there. See, Rocky positioned the mic himself in case. See, sometimes I'll drag the either editor Rocky or producer Andrew into this conversation, kicking and screaming. Now, Lee.
Yes.
J.
Yeah, call me Lee or Lee J, either one.
Your full name is?
My full name?
Yeah.
My real name?
Yeah.
My full name is Leanne Broadhead, yeah.
So I'm curious to know, where did Lee J come from? LJ?
So Lee J is kind of like
a... Lee.
Yeah. It's kind of like a alias I guess I came up with when I was still studying. Because we had to kind of have like a name for ourselves.
Okay.
It kind of got me thinking, my name is very wordy, very long, and I kind of just thought that Lee and Lee J kind of settles better. And I've tested it out in the industry and it definitely works a lot better. People just remember Lee a lot more than Leanne so it just works better for me.
And broad.
Yeah, Broadhead is a Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah, Scottish.
That might have been a bit more Irish than anything. Maybe
Yeah,
Mark Kelly is
Scottish.
pretty Irish, so...
Yeah, so I think it's a Scottish name. Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, you know what? Let's go with Lee J.
Yeah.
Lee.
Cool. Lee. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the Northland Artists Conversation.
No worries.
Here we go. This is kind of the official introduction.
Yeah.
So we do have an official one, I guess. Thank you very much for... Now, I'm going to say this because this was a little bit different. Thank you very much for reaching out to us.
Yeah, no worries.
And asking if you could be
Yes.
on.
Yeah. So excited right now.
By your own admission, you're a long-time fan, first-time interviewee.
Yes.
So I'm curious. We talked about this before, but you don't really have a recollection for how long you've been following?
Not really, no.
Like, are we talking 6 months, a year?
Possibly 6 months. I think, closer to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So how many podcasts would you say you've watched or listened, or both? So
are we talking podcasts in general or this podcast?
This podcast. This is the only one that matters.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Sorry, my bad. So I feel like I've probably watched nearly all of them. Like, at least look through all, like, there are probably some I've watched right from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And obviously there's some that I know, so I will watch them from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Some people that I know personally.
And that's definitely something that is quite common. And it's bound to happen. We had a gentleman whose podcast came out. Well, let's see. By the time this one comes out, that'll be next week. So 2 weeks ago. Yep, that makes sense. We had a very lovely and charming gentleman by the name of Sundeep on, and he has basically just plastered it all across his social media to his friends and family, and boy, have we had some interest.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Always welcome the promo. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I always say to people, look, just plug the crap out of it. It's a good time. It's a bit of a party. We don't like to dive into any of the serious topics. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, so as a 20-year-old, are you 20?
Close. 23, 2024 very soon.
2024 soon. What are your thoughts on the Gaza situation? No, those aren't the questions that we ask. Yeah. Because it's not about that. It's actually, these podcasts are focused on the artist. Now, you're an interesting one because we don't have, we've had a few, but we haven't had as many behind the scenes people.
Yes.
And that's by your own admission kind of what you mainly are.
Yeah.
So what is your kind of behind the scenes talent?
I feel like my behind the scenes talent is being able to storytell through video editing. I feel like helping bring a story together, like, or help bring a production together.
Yeah.
Whether it be through like footage or adding music or the whole thing. I can do it I can do everything basically. I've always kind of liked that. I've been very interested in video editing since I was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is going to segue beautifully into my next question.
Yeah.
So when did you start discovering creativity? What was it like for you, and what was it like growing up?
I feel like creativity was always in my life. I just didn't really have a grasp on it until maybe like in school.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I went to school, I just remember loving art. Like, I always wanted to do art. I wanted to do art more than English, than maths. I used to go to, like, when I was in high school, I used to go to my art teacher and be like, can you please let me, like, I want to be in here, I want to do art, I don't want to have to do my other subjects. It was always my escapism.
Look,
you know?
I don't know about you, but I haven't hit a calculator. I haven't hit the cosine symbol in 30 years.
I know. It's like, why did we have to learn this stuff?
Yeah. We digress, though. Okay, so you were a very art-focused kid. And were you like that kind of all the way through growing up, like primary, intermediate, or did it really sort of take hold when you got to high school?
So I was always interested in creativity throughout my whole life due to my family, like my dad and my brothers, because they're all very creative focused.
What do they do?
So my brother is a traditional artist and carver, so he does like lots of Māori designs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like full out, way better than me. He's got his own
amazing.
style, and
Yeah, cool.
very cool.
Yeah. And Dad?
So my dad, he doesn't really do it anymore, but when he was younger, when I was growing up, he used to busk, so he was a singer. He would record
no way.
he would record his own videos put them on YouTube, because we used to live in Christchurch, so I just
wow.
remember going around with him. He would film in cemeteries and by the lake, and yeah.
Lake's
so-
nice.
Yeah.
Cemetery's a bit dark.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been in Northland then?
So I've been in Whangarei well over 10 years now.
Oh, okay, right, right. So you, make sure I get this right, you're turning 24 soon, you're currently 23. So sort of you moved up here pre-high school.
Yes. Yeah, definitely pre-high school. Yeah, I was actually still in primary when I moved up here.
Okay, so you did intermediate. And,
Yeah,
and,
just
right,
moving into intermediate. Yep.
Okay. And how did you find that transition? Because the reason I asked the question is because Christchurch is it's the second biggest city in New Zealand. Whangarei is obviously beautiful and warm. I say warm, apart from the summer.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. And not as chilly and prone to snow.
Yes.
So how was that for you?
It was not easy. I always just remember telling my parents, I want to go back. I miss my friends.
Yeah.
And all that. But we had to move up here due to family circumstance. So it wasn't like just because my parents wanted to move, kind of had to.
Yeah.
So it was a big learning curve for me, but I'm grateful for it because it helped me grow as a person, I think. Very good. Yeah, those experiences really shaped me as a person, so grateful for it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, funnily enough, born in Christchurch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I was only there for a year and a half. Don't really remember it. Apparently, we had a puppy called Jana. I digress. I know. So, having grown up in a creative household, I think one thing that is kind of a common thread with the guests we've had on is that if it's been a creative house, creativity tends to kind of flow on through.
Yeah.
It may not look exactly the same, but it will often manifest itself in one way or another. Your experience moving from schooling systems from Christchurch to Whangarei, did you find that the creative parts of let's say high school were kind of at a level that you felt encouraged you to pursue it more, or was it more just your traditional academia as opposed to creativity?
I think I was like struggling in high school. I was struggling to find where I would like fit in best and what I could do to like, I suppose, benefit what I want to do in the future. So because I went to a area school and they weren't very didn't have a lot of subjects to choose from, so that's why I kind of gravitated towards more art, music, the creative side, because I thought if I can be more focused in that, then hopefully I'd be able to take it somewhere. So I think that's what I was always thinking back in the back of my mind. Yeah.
Okay, so it sort of even at this earlier age, you're very arts forward thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, now, as you said, you found it quite challenging. As someone who was also a creator, I went to Gisborne Boys High School. It was an all-boys school. Rugby and cricket were the thing, and I liked acting.
Oh, yeah.
So you can imagine I got bullied quite a bit, and there were some uncomplimentary words that were thrown around that you can't say nowadays. But how was the high school experience for you? For someone, for someone who was art-centric? Well, because I find it very interesting because you're kind of only out of schooling for 6-7 years now?
5 years, going on 6 years.
Going on 6 years. So, that for you is going to be still relatively fresh.
Yep.
So, let's talk about that.
Cool. Okay. What would you like to know first, though?
I got the shit beaten out of me. No.
No, not quite. Have some.
No, that's what guys do. But was it tough being someone that wanted to focus in the arts segment as opposed to your more traditional subjects?
Yes, I remember like asking my parents, like, can I please go to another school? I wanted to go to school in town because my parents live in Titoki, which is out on the way to Dargaville.
Yes.
So we were quite far away from like, I was just always begging them I wanted to get a better education. So, but they couldn't because of our family circumstances. We were living in a family of 8 at the time. So,
A family of 8.
family of 8, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow,
went
crazy.
from just me and my parents to me, my parents, and 5 nieces and nephews. Yeah.
Huh.
So crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy what life throws at you.
Full
but-
house.
Yep.
You know, was there an Uncle... No, I can't say that joke. You may not get it. I was going to say, is there an Uncle Jesse? But
Oh.
that's a Full House joke.
Yeah.
And there
From
you
the
go,
actual
folks.
show.
That just shows you how old I am. Okay, so you're obviously your entire circumstance changed. You get to
Yeah.
high school and you're, I guess, struggling with traditional academia.
Yeah.
Do you think that the situation that you were in kind of drove you more to seek out, because
Yeah.
you couldn't change schools,
No.
but you're like, I'm going to have to do a lot of this on my own.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely felt like that. I had to do a lot on my own to the point where there was a teacher that I had and I love her to pieces. She
Let's celebrate this teacher.
Yeah, so
What is her name?
her name is Louise Spraggan, and she's still in New Zealand, I think. She's originally from the UK. She taught me media study, and I was like, not for very long though, because she did leave, but from what she taught me a lot. She used to work with Aardman, the company that does
right.
Wallace and Gromit and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so she taught me a lot in her short time being there, and it really helped me kind of get more into my video editing side.
Okay.
So I was lucky to have that in our school, considering, like, yeah, no offense to any of the teachers there at all or anything. They were trying their best. It's just our school was very kind of, underprivileged in the sense of what we could pick for subjects. And
Under-resourced.
yeah, under-resourced.
Right.
Yeah. It's a better,
Oh,
better word, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you in on a secret. I don't think there's a lot of video editing courses at any of the Whangarei high schools. No. So you're always going to be in a challenging situation,
Yeah.
right? How did you discover video editing? Because we were talking
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Now that you've found it, you can
Yeah.
sit down and you can pick apart movies and go, why did they do that transition and all that?
All the time, like, it
Yeah.
drives my mum crazy. She's
Of
like,
course.
just let me watch the film,
Can I
please.
just enjoy the film? Just let me enjoy the film. Just shut up. I need some peace and quiet. Just let me
Yeah.
watch the film. Right.
Yeah.
So when did you first decide that the visual medium of storytelling through editing was something that you wanted to pursue?
So I think, well, if I can think back far enough, it started around when I was about 12, when I got my first tablet. So my first tablet, and I just downloaded an app. I think it was like Video Star or something it was called, and I just started mixing and mashing videos together, putting audio. They were really, really bad, just very bad at the
Yep.
time because I was just learning.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just got a passion for it. I just started really loving that sort of sense of storytelling. And obviously, me and my family we're big movie nuts. We absolutely love film,
Yeah.
love music. So all that kind of influenced that, kind of helped me go into that. Yeah, streamline it, kind of. Yeah. It was really cool. Just finding something that I felt like I was good at.
Yeah.
As well, because that kind of helped, light the spark of thinking I can actually do this and pursue it, for a living, hopefully. At the time, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would still like to... if you were given, so if you were given the opportunity, is that something you would like to pursue more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I have been given the opportunity. I've been working with some different companies in the past, but I still really want to do things like that. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we've finished high school. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
You leave high school, do you go, I'm off to university? Do you go, gotta earn some cash?
Straight into study.
Straight. You go from study into study?
Into study,
Okay.
yeah.
What do we study?
Yeah. Okay, so when I graduated high school, I went right into studying graphic design at the design school. So that's in town, on Robert Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one on the corner,
Yes,
yep.
yeah.
Across the road from Big Fish.
Yes, you're right.
Beautiful school. Lovely.
Yeah, Phil was my tutor. Yeah, I love Phil. He was really cool.
Phil, I'm still trying to get you on the podcast, sir. I now have an in. She'll be in touch with you. No, I'm kidding. Carry on.
Yeah, I'll follow him on Facebook. Just flick him a message. Be like, Phil.
Yeah. Get your ass on this podcast.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. Like, he also helped, like, shed some light onto what I can really do with my skills.
Yeah.
So that I was really stoked about that because I just remember, like, having a panic, like, when I was about to graduate, because I was like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really scary time because I was thinking time's running out and I have to have some sort of, pathway. And I was thinking, I didn't really want to work. I was like, no, I don't want to work right now. Even though I probably should have, but I was like, I really want to learn more.
Yeah.
So that's when, I just went online and I was just looking for different, like, things I could go into. Because I think originally I wanted to go to North Tech, but you had to have some sort of entry level to be able to even apply there. So that's why I went to the design school to get those, like,
the
qualifications,
yeah.
Because it goes up in levels, especially with the arts degree. It goes from, like, level 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I had to do that as, like, building my pathway up and to be able to go to North Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long were you at design school for?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So level 3 and 4. For graphic design, yeah.
Right, okay. And that takes you to about 20, right? 1920?
Yes.
Not 1920 the year, but 19, 20.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah. Clarification, yeah.
And then where do we go from there?
Yep. So once I graduated from there, I went to North Tech.
So you're at North Tech. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Are we doing the video editing at North Tech?
Kind of. North Tech is very, like, got a whole lot of different subjects going on. They were teaching us so much, like a lot of lectures and theory, as well as practical. So
yeah,
a lot of different stuff. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Still at North Tech?
No, I graduated earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. And what did you graduate with?
I graduated with a Bachelor of Applied Arts in the digital side. So you could either do applied arts or digital, and I graduated in the digital. So.
Nice. So as let's say, hypothetically, I'm a prospective employer and I have an application for an entry-level video editor and you submit your CV. What does that qualification give you? What does it do for you to help you kind of move into that next phase?
Move into the industry?
Yeah.
So I feel like it really helps with, like, experience and also, like, the ability to with time management. Time management is very important, especially with all of, like, the different, I suppose, lectures and stuff and different assignments I had to do. So I think it shows the person that you can definitely take on tasks. You can definitely do a lot of work at a certain time, and it just shows that everything is a lot more. Like, it's more expanded, like, my qualifications are more, I can do a lot more than what maybe someone can do with only a certain amount of qualifications.
Right, so
yeah.
So instead of focusing solely just on one thing, you've been able to broaden your horizons and go, well, I can now do all of these different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Right, so graduated earlier in the year.
Yes.
Are you working now?
I was working.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working. I do have a job on the side, pay bills. Pay bills, pay off my tuition.
Student loans!
Student loans, yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, so I work in retail to do that.
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, I had been working earlier in the year. I've been working with Facebox. Yeah, so they're really, really cool.
Yeah, we've had Kevin on before, and we've been trying to connect with him for, I want to say 6 months.
Busy guy.
That is a busy man.
Yep.
If he's in Whangarei, his stuff is budgeted down to the, like, quarter hour. And that's if he's in Whangarei. If he's out of Whangarei in Auckland doing commercial stuff, it's like, don't even bother trying to get in touch with him. And I love Kev to bits.
Yeah, Kevin and Raywin, I'm really grateful for them to take me under their wing and teach me what they taught me. Yeah, they will stay with me forever. So
yeah, definitely, and it's kind of one of those, it's one of those experiences where it's very formative.
Yeah.
How long were you with them for?
Ooh, so last year I started doing my work experience with them when I was still at North Tech.
Yes.
So, yeah, so probably like 6 or 7 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a decent chunk then.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Normally, with a lot of our other guests, we have a lot more life to cover. But thank you very much for being on the Northland Artists Conversation. No, I'm kidding.
So my life is so boring. No,
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
Well, it's really interesting. So we haven't had a lot of younger artists on. So, you know, your journey is really just starting.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we've had a lot of people that have, you know, they've either been artists for decades, or you know, they've got life experience but found art later on in life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just switch things up a little bit here.
Okay.
It was interesting. Oh no, I can't say that because no one really knows about it at this stage. I'll save that. Well, no, I can. So on Monday just gone, I had a group of friends over. We're in the process of working on a short film, and in like films and videos and anything like that, there's the movie is created and edited in 3 occasions. There's the script, on set, and the edit as well. Now, how important is it for you as an editor to be involved in those 3 steps, or do you really just need the last one?
Speaking from experience, I think it's important to be involved in all of it. Because
Okay.
I got the opportunity to be involved in all of it, and it kind of helps, like, when I'm in the editing mode to kind of, get a grasp of the story, especially.
Yep.
Because if they're trying to tell a story, or, just trying to see, like, how everyone does their own thing, and then how I do my thing. It really influences that part of the production. So I think it's good to be a part of all of it.
Are there any editors that our listeners or viewers will know of that you look to and go, I love that editing style?
Ooh,
See, I'll give you an example, right?
Yeah.
As a director, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
That's
great.
And then by association, Robert Rodriguez. And then Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
In fact, so much Peter Jackson, there's a Peter Jackson biography right behind you.
I love that.
Yes, there is. Thank you. PJ, you're the best. So for editing styles, is there sort of anyone that you naturally gravitate towards where you're like, I'm going to watch this film because it's edited by da-da-da-da-da-da, or I've seen things I like, and then you kind of dive down that path there?
I'm not really sure about the editing per se, but maybe like the production and obviously directors and that.
Sure.
Really like James Cameron. Really love James
Yep.
Cameron. And like just his way. Like he's a very, like as a person, he's very particular in how he works. I've had friends that have been able to do stunt work for him and stuff. Like people in the industry that have actually worked with him because he pretty much lives here now.
He does.
So,
he lives in the Wairarapa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's a good example. It's kind of hard to say because I kind of liked supporting small artists and stuff like that, but not necessarily in the video editing phase, because video editing is one part of my life, but I also have another part that I haven't really talked about. But
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We will. Okay. Yeah, interesting though. Okay. James Cameron. Fun fact about James Cameron. He doesn't have a smartphone.
That doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
He has an analog phone
Oh, really?
for calls, and it receives calls, and that's it. He doesn't want to get his emails
Straight
on
to
his
the point,
phone.
yeah.
He is just like, just call me. Doesn't do texts.
That sounds
not
about
that I
right.
know of. He's just call, and that's it.
Yep.
I remember hearing that a few years ago. And I was like, yeah, good for you. My old band actually gave me a hat. Someone had seen the making of one of his films, and it had HMFIC on the top of it, and I was like, yes,
That's cool.
yes. For those of you that don't know, it was the first Avatar that happened, eh?
I'm pretty sure.
During the filming of the very first Avatar, James Cameron was presented with a hat by the crew, which had HMFIC on it. Now, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Editor Rocky, do you know what it is? No, he hasn't used his microphone. It's on. Lean into the mic. Don't do heavy breathing. Just have you heard it?
No,
Okay.
I haven't heard it.
No, he hasn't heard it. All right. So HMFIC stands for. One of the organisations that proudly supports the Northland Artists Conversation is Creative Northland. I'm going to take just a moment to talk to you guys about it. Creative Northland have been absolutely vital in helping this project get off the ground through its infancy and all the way through to where we are now. We couldn't have done what we've done without their assistance. What we suggest is that if you're a creative person and you haven't heard of Creative Northland, we highly recommend that you reach out to them. Creative Northland, simply do a Google search. They're the top result. These guys are wonderful. They're all creatives in their own way, and they're all very, very well respected throughout the industry that they work in. They're very hardworking, absolutely committed and dedicated to helping the creative people throughout Northland, whether it be through simple things like starting up a project, all the way through to putting on like an exhibition, for example, all the way through to working out how they can start turning what they do into a business. It's all free advice. They give really, really good guidelines and helpful assistance to make sure that you, as a creative, are able to get the most out of what you do. Creative Northland, highly recommend them. Check them out. So, yeah, look, everyone, I'm not going to tell you what HMFIC stands for. If you want to have a look at it, Google it. It's literally the letter HMFIC. If you're smart, you'll work it out. But that's what Google's for, right?
Yeah,
that is.
100%.
Okay. 100%. Now, we've obviously talked about your editing and the industry experience. And would you say that editing is kind of your main passion?
It's kind of a mixture because I think editing is what helps in the industry. There's a lot more opportunity for video editing. But I'm kind of leaning at a crossroad right now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a fork in the road.
Yeah.
We've got editing and other.
Yeah.
Now, what is other?
So other is
Don't say OnlyFans.
No, God, no.
Okay, just gotta say that's so.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, right. So editing or
establishing myself as a digital artist.
Ooh.
So yeah, making a name for myself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Digital art as in... Can you embellish a bit more on that, please? I talk with my hands.
It's all good. So digital art as in like concept art, illustration, sketches, but mainly on digital format. So obviously traditional art is like when you sketch like on paper or you paint but I do love doing that, but I feel like digital art is definitely more my forte.
Okay, so if I was to look at it from if I was to use the movie lingo, traditional would be your hand-drawn storyboards. Yeah. And digital would be your previs.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yep, you get it.
Thank you. I watched the Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace behind-the-scenes making of documentary. I get that.
It's like, it's all I need to know now. I'm a genius, though.
Yeah. I'm good now. Well, actually, no. To be fair, it was the 14 hours worth of bonus footage in the Lord of the Rings trilogy that really did it for me. That was amazing.
Big Lord of the Rings fan over here.
Huge Lord of the Rings fan. I've been to Hobbiton.
I haven't. I've had many opportunities to go, but never been able to.
Honestly, it is absolutely glorious. They ran out of the beer.
No.
When I went there, it's like, we're all sold out of the beer. Oh,
the one time.
Damn it. Right, okay. When's it coming? Not coming back in for months. Okay, right, fine. I'm not coming back.
They're like, give me a refund.
Yeah. Damn it. You know you've taken me on this beautiful walk and tour, and it's been amazing, but I'd like my money back. No. Okay, so digital art. Now, how much experience have you kind of had with that?
I've had a few years of experience under my belt, but it's all been self-taught. So I haven't, Okay, when I say all, it's like, like my interest in it has been self-taught. When I was at North Tech, I was kind of taught how to do, I suppose, like very small clips of animation, just very basic stuff.
Yeah.
Which I still love. I love animation. It kind of scares me though, because the amount of work that goes into it. But yeah, I found myself just wanting to do it. So I thought I'm just gonna go on YouTube, just learn myself, like teach myself how to do stuff. Yeah.
Are there any YouTube channels that you sort of gravitated towards
Yes,
and still do?
definitely, yes. There is one called Sam Does Arts, and they're really, really amazing. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty much famous for what they do. They've got a very distinct art style, and I love that. And there's another one, I think he's Auckland-based, Philip Sue Art, and I've managed to reach out to him asking for tips and stuff. He does amazing work.
Oh, wow.
He's actually worked with, like, Disney and...
wow.
Yeah, he's worked with a lot of companies. So
as someone who has seen a lot of the podcasts, you may have seen one of our former guests, Mikhail Mulipola.
I'm not sure if I've seen that one.
He has drawn for Disney
Wow.
and Marvel and
Man.
DC
Oh, wow.
and WWE.
Nice.
Yes. So
WWE, yeah, WWE, yep.
yeah, well, yeah, wrestling household.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
yeah.
I've seen you mention that before.
Yeah, once or twice. My son's an obsessed fan. And Mikhail is a wrestler as well. So he wrestles for a company called IPW down in Auckland.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't had a look at it, highly recommend that one.
Yep, will do.
It was amazing. Now, digital art, man, wow. Okay. I mean, I think about the two and I look at them and I go, yes, they kind of tie in together loosely.
Yeah, they
I
can complement each other,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
kind of do feel like separate.
Yeah, I was going to say that there are threads that will cross over, but we're not talking about, well, music and acting. Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, there are a couple of threads there, but not a lot.
Yeah.
So why so, different?
I think I kind of just, I feel like with them being different as in like two different elements.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Because digital art is pre-production, and editing is almost post-production.
Yeah, true that.
Does that mean your
I
next
kinda,
one will be acting?
I mean, I have wanted to be like a background extra. They look like fun.
Yes.
Like Peter Jackson's always been done a background extra in like all of the Lord of the Rings. You have to like spot and be like, there he is,
You
there he is, there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is in Brain Dead.
Yes.
He's got 2 roles in Bad Taste.
Yes.
I don't recall seeing him having a cameo in Meet the Feebles, though.
I don't think so. Not that I can remember, but...
For those of you that know Meet the Feebles, you'll know that is actually not possible.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I could ever,
No.
No, because I was like, even if it was just like the voice, but I don't,
Okay, so we digress again.
No, you're all good.
We'll have that a lot. Digital art. For you, what does that look like? Does that involve you sitting down with like a tablet or like a Wacom drawing tablet and then like Photoshop? Or
so my go-to is Procreate on my iPad. So Procreate is just a drawing app that's specifically for Apple, so it can only be used on iPads. This is literally why I bought one, to use it.
Yeah.
And they're also coming out with animation app, so Procreate Dreams, and it's like I'm so excited for that because I want to start doing animation as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit about me is that because I love storytelling, I'm trying to kind of do my own story. Like I've got my own story up and running, or trying to get it up and running. So I want to do my own illustrations for that, my own animation for that. And that's kind of how I want to start making a name for myself by doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like short film length, or is it full length, or are these just like little snippets of animation stuff?
Yeah, I feel like it'll start out as little snippets, like
Okay.
just little bits and pieces. Whether it like delves into being a graphic novel of sorts, I don't know, because it's still, a lot of it still just exists in my head.
Yes.
It's hard for it to actually come out onto paper, come out into the world. It's very hard, because my mind is just like full of ideas, but I find it really hard to actually get those ideas and execute them. And yeah, so I'm on social media under CyberJ Space. That's my social media platform.
Cyber J Space.
Yes, I come up with that name during my North Tech days as well.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you share with us what some of this story might be?
Yeah. Sure.
Because it'll be interesting to hear now, whilst it's still in the concept phase.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get you back in.
Yeah.
And you may have finished it just to find out the before and after.
Yeah. Okay. So my story is called Silver Slain. The themes kind of radiate around being a mixture of cyberpunk and dystopian, because those are my like two favorite genres. Like that genre kind of sums up my art, really. Yeah, and it's set around an adolescent girl that when she's younger, she's kidnapped and taken into a facility that tests on people, kind of like with cybernetics and stuff like that. So if you've ever seen Blade Runner,
yes,
then you kind of know that kind of thing with androids and stuff going
yeah.
on. Yeah, so that sort of thing. And she meets like a older like girl that helps her escape the facility. And from there, she kind of like starts, when she grows up, she starts a rebellion, and she realizes that all these people are being taken by this big like corrupt facility, and that they're like doing experiments on them, making them like cyborgs and stuff like that. So it kind of, yeah, it's still very broad. I need to obviously fine tune it and stuff like that, but it's kind of where it sits at the moment.
If you were to... So our listeners and viewers can kind of get a bit of an understanding. If we were to throw some, like, films, for example. You're a big film buff.
Yes.
I'm a big film buff. If you were to throw some films... You've mentioned Blade Runner. What would you say would kind of have a look and the feel of that? Because to me, that sounds a bit like... Hunger Games meets Maze Runner, with a bit of Divergent thrown in there.
Yeah, so those movies, they very much come together because they're very dystopian. Like they have that dystopian feel. So definitely for the dystopian side. I think for the cyberpunk side, it's more influenced by oh my god, I just had it and I've forgotten it. Yeah, so there's Blade Runner, there's Alita Battle Angel. I don't know if you've ever seen it. That's one of
Robert Rodriguez.
Yes, and James Cameron. Yeah, their collab.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's very much
cool.
that. Yeah, I love that. I'm excited for the sequel.
Yes, finally,
yes.
right?
Yeah. So that is another influence, and also a video game. That's another influence. It's called Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, heard that.
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with that. I love that.
Okay, I was sort of picturing Elysium. Or anything Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, okay. I think I need to do more research around that.
He did District 9.
Oh, District 9. Okay.
That same director, yeah. District 9, Elysium, and Chappie.
Oh, I love Chappie.
Yeah.
I love Chappie. I literally got to see, I don't know if it was the real Chappie, but I went to Weta Workshop Unleashed in Auckland, and they have it at the Sky City.
They do.
So they had like a display of Chappie. I don't know if it was the real one, but I was geeking out over that because I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's so sad, but I love it.
That's all Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, okay.
That's all his stuff, yeah.
Yes, that's definitely helped with influence Chappie. Yeah.
Okay,
that
cool.
Movie, yeah.
Now, what stage is this in? Is this in the trapped in the mind stage, or is this in the I've started getting some things out stage?
It's in the I've started getting things out. So I'm using my social media platform via mainly Instagram and TikTok to be able to feel this, to be able to start this.
Right.
Yeah.
And how is that going?
It's going relatively well. Instagram's quite difficult, just because of the way that they kind of they don't really advocate for artists that well in terms of how their like social media runs. But TikTok's really good. I've got nearly 2,000 followers. So
oh wow,
I feel like that's good because you can kind of gravitate into a niche. Like TikTok has all its own little niches. So I'm in the art side of TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's really helpful. Like there are so many cool people on there that can help you. Like everyone just helps each other, and and I've been able to kind of find my people over there. So I think it'll be really good to be able to, because like people really love seeing the process. They don't just want to see the end production. They want to see it from kind of like start to finish. They want to see how the artist comes up with things, how like their process and that. So that's what I'm going to try and show. So that's why I think it's good for me to be able to start now.
Yeah.
And start, just delving into my ideas and just like vomiting them onto the page,
Opening up the top of your brain.
Yeah,
and
literally
just letting it
like
spill out.
Yeah.
It's a tidal wave.
Yeah, literally.
It's a tsunami of sanity.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the long-term goal with this then? Where do you want to take it?
I'd like to be able to just just get myself out there, be known, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of where I'm getting... Like, I don't really like to think too much about it because I kind of think it sounds very airy-fairy. Like, how practical does it really sound? But yeah, I just kind of want to be able to just get my work out there and get people, like, acknowledging it and to be able to, I just feel like it would kind of fulfill a certain part of me, I guess, my creative side. I think, the feeling of fulfillment is really kind of what I want to go for. But then I'm always kind of faced with how can I take it on a professional level? And I'm kind of just enjoying the ride right now. Yeah. Because I don't want to feel too pressured. Because then I'm always fear that I'll find it's more work than pleasure. Like, it'll be more like, oh, I have to do this instead of I want to do this,
Yeah, well, man, that's interesting, because there's two schools of thought. There's the school that says do something you'll love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
And then there's the other school of thought, which is if you do something you'll love, it eventually becomes work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of...
Torn.
Yeah, torn between that.
Yeah. But it's funny how you've still got to have that job. Pay those bills.
Yeah, it's always there.
Yeah. And look, that everyone that's involved with the podcast has got a regular job as well.
Yeah.
This studio wasn't built through funding. It all came out of Gem Finance. Thank you very much. But I think that's just kind of the way it is nowadays. Until you get yourself to a point where you're established. As a creative, then you can go, well, I can do things like apply for funding and get grants and stuff like that, and then you can continue to build from there. But you've got to get to that first point.
Definitely.
Would you self-publish?
I feel like that's where I would go. Yes.
Yeah.
Self-publishing. Yeah, whether it be a graphic novel or a novel, I feel like self-publishing. Yeah.
Okay. How would the digital creativity sort of migrate into if you completed your series? It's not just going to be one book, I hope.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Too much ideas.
All right, too many ideas.
Too many.
If it was to be made into like a series or anything, is that something you're going, you know what? I'd like to edit that shit. I feel like I'm the type to be like, I always want to be involved in it. I'll always have some sort of involvement, and that's what I like about. I kind of feel like I'm multidisciplinary, which means like I could do lots of different things. So I feel like that comes to my advantage in the terms of I can do this myself. Like, I don't feel like I have to really rely on people. Maybe if I wanted to like make something and then I could get people to voice act or do stuff like that, but a lot of it I feel like I could do myself, which is really good. And I think you're at the age where you've got the confidence to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not... You don't say it in I've got a huge chip on my shoulder, I'm egotistical, look at me. It's just that confidence you have in your 20s and sometimes your 30s as well, where you go, I can do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about sleep?
Right? No.
Yeah, I mean...
many late nights, so many mornings,
Before I went to drama school, I was working 3 jobs. I was teaching theatre sports, acting in a play, and I wrote a script for a short film, and then I shot it.
That's cool.
I mean, 4 hours sleep a night.
Oh, don't remind me of those days.
Yeah. Sleep's overrated. Now I go, whew. going to do this podcast and then I'm going to go have an early night because I'm going to treat myself. A lot's changed.
That's adulting for you. It's like,
It is
that's
adulting.
my exciting to go to sleep early.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exciting.
I'm going to see if I can get that quality 8 hours in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. I think this is probably gonna be my last question.
It's all good.
But it is a very pertinent one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the. So, as someone who has been a manager of different jobs before, it's one of the questions I always hate asking, but I am going to ask it for a couple of very good reasons. Where do you see yourself in 2 years, and then where do you see yourself in 5 years? Reason I ask that is because when we have you back on, I just want to see if they're still lined up, or if you go, so I was doing editing and now I work with clay.
Just see that real dramatic.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
now a special effects makeup artist. Where do you see yourself? Let's go with 2 years.
2 years.
Because 2 years in your 20s, 2 years is a lifetime. Where do you see yourself in 2 years' time?
In 2 years' time, I see myself, I think, having done at least this Silver Slain, having that out as at least as a book or as like a short film. Yeah, I feel like definitely that would definitely should have been done by 2 years. Even that, or just getting myself in the door to work for a company. Like, I always dreamed of working for Weta Digital. I don't know if that's still on the table in the future, but yeah. I feel like I have more opportunity to be doing anything. I know I'll definitely still be in the industry, or it'll still be art related. So I feel like, yeah, I just hope that my presence as an artist will be more established in 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Lee, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No worries.
With us. How'd you find it?
It's great.
It
feels like it's gone so fast.
It has.
I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So what do you mean it's over already? Yeah.
We've whizzed by, and
Yeah.
that's been great. But that's it's one of the things that a lot of people say. Is that it?
Yeah, I was like, huh?
It'll be cool to have you, as I've said, it'll be cool to have you come back in and find out where you are. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're still in the area, we would love to have you come back in, not just once, but just find out where you are, what's going on, because as someone behind the scenes,
Yes.
we don't often hear from people that are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it'll be very cool, to find out, the one thing that would be wicked
What?
is if we get you back on and we have to do it via the interwebs because you've just got an internship at Weta.
Oh my god. No, but yeah, speak that into existence.
There we go.
Manifesting. Yeah.
Listeners and viewers, let's make that shit happen. All right.
Yes.
Lee, thank you so much for being on Northland Artists Conversation.
No worries.
This has
Thank
been
you for
an
having
absolute
me.
joy. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, there you go, everyone. That was Lee J. Super cool. Such a nice lady. I as I sit here and reflect on what I really liked about the podcast, it really, Editor Rocky, would it be fair to say it was a podcast of two halves?
What do you mean by that?
So essentially the first half we talk about her as a editor, and then the second half we talk about her as a digital creator.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
She is still quite new to everything.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess, yeah. I think in a lot of ways, when you're a kid, how many kids grow up saying, when I grow up, I want to be an editor?
Yeah, no.
Not a lot.
No, none.
Fair to say, none. It was, and the fact that she figured out quite early on that was what she wanted to do, and now she's got the digital art as well, is just great. It'll be interesting to get her back in and find out where she is in that process, because it will be it'll be really interesting. Hopefully she stays the course. We believe in you, Lee. Be amazing. I'm going to flick over to my camera now. My big takeaway from this. You know, it's interesting. As I said in the podcast earlier, we often get a lot of artists that have been, you know, that have either been creative for like a number of years, or later on in life they've kind of found their niche, their groove and creativity, if you will. So with Lee, it was very much she's found her niche, she knows what she wants to do, and now she's kind of at that really cool age where she can just go out and do it. And I think she'll succeed because she's just got such a massive amount of drive. But the one thing, the one thing that I did like about this, and you can agree or disagree, Editor Rocky, it's totally up to you, but I think the one thing that I got out of it was her drive and her commitment. Like, she is focused on being at this particular point in, you know, fork in the road where she goes either editor or graphic artist. But what an amazing fork in the road to have. Your thoughts?
I've pretty much done the same thing as well. Gone graphic artist to editor. So,
yeah, that's
true. The other way around.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That is interesting as well. Yeah, very, very reflective of your journey too. And obviously, you know, you're a handful of years older than her. You know, so yeah, I wish her all the best. I hope she has a massive amount of success. It'll be, you know, 10 years' time, and the award for best editing goes to. And then we can say, yeah, we had an award-winning editor, Lee J, on the podcast early in her career. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? That'd be wicked. Anyway, where can you, our amazing audience, people, the ones that come back time and time again, or the new viewers and listeners that are joining us, where can you find us? Well, I'm going to give you all the details now. For the video, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artists Conversation. For the audio, it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, again, Northland Artists Conversation. And if you are an artist, or if you know someone that's an artist and you would like to come in and be on the podcast, firstly, we would love to have you on. That would be amazing. We would be incredibly honoured. And you can reach out to us by simply emailing hello@northlandartistconversation.co.nz. Super simple. We also have a Patreon page as well. Patreon is where you, the listener or viewer, can support what we do. We have 2 tiers for support. We have the first tier, which is called Cup of Coffee. That's $5 a month. And that's just a way of saying, hey, we thoroughly believe in what you're doing. Keep it up. You guys are doing amazing. Second tier we have is called Coffee Addict. That's $20 a month. You get some extras that you don't get with the Cup of Coffee tier. Those extras are you get to know who the guests are in advance. If there's a particular question that you would like me to ask our guest, I can do that for you as well. And you also get a shout out as well. So I'm going to give a shout out to all our patrons at the moment. I'm going to shout out to Lauren Roach, thank you very much for supporting us. Michael Boter, thank you for your continued support. Maggie Coco, Maggie, man, I'd still love to get you back in for the second interview. You have been a busy lady. And, of course, Jenny Purchase. Jenny, hopefully that book is not too far away and we can get you back in and talk about it, because it was an amazing book idea when we spoke, so that'd be wicked. So those are our lovable patrons. Thank you very much. You can find Patreon in 2 ways. You can go to Google, type in Patreon, that's Patreon, top right-hand corner, and then go to create an account, enter your details, then type in Northland Artists Conversation, and we shall appear. Pick your tier and then go from there. Second way, and the easier way, is to go into your Google search bar or Edge search bar, into your search bar of your internet browser of choice, and type in www.patreon.com/Northland Artists Conversation. We will appear magically, and we'll be there. create an account, pick your tier, go from there. Couldn't be any easier if we tried. Thanks very much for your support. We do appreciate it. I'm going to flick back to my wide camera now. Summer is coming. Summer is getting close. We're starting to get some really nice warm days. Air conditioning is going to be beautiful. But you know what? I think the one thing I'm looking forward to the most is actually just getting out to the beach. Enjoying the beautiful beaches that we have in Northland. We've got some absolute corkers. What about yourself, Editor Rocky? Anything you're looking forward to with summer?
No, just hot weather.
Right.
Shout it.
Just hot weather. Thanks. You didn't make that awkward at all. No, look, considering we didn't really have a summer in the start of 2023, it will be nice to actually see a bit of hot weather. It's always nice to just get outside, be active, and no matter what you're doing, whether you're at the beach or just going for a walk, or even if you're chilling inside, enjoy yourself. Make some time for yourself and look after yourself, guys. We really appreciate everyone that comes and supports what we do. Lot of love. Thank you so much. We've been doing this for nearly 18 months now, and it's been a huge ride. And next year we're going to be doing something a little bit special, so just keep an eye out for it. That'll be around April. So, on behalf of the entire Northland Artists Conversation team, my name is Mark Kelly. Thank you so much for checking us out on the Northland Artists Conversation. We will see you guys real soon.